it's running battles between journalists and the Uganda police force. Journalists have been... Solomon, as you can be able to see, police and journalists are actually engaged in running battles. They don't want any journalists to cover what is happening here. And you can see they are chasing us away. And one officer has pepper spray. They want to spray journalists as they are covering the events.
Bahati Remmy was taken by police to an unknown location and detained for an hour. She was then released without charge. Remmy is the latest journalist to get caught up in what some feel is the government's crackdown against the media. She joins us live now from Kampala. Good to speak to you. Were you given any reason by the Ugandan police when you were arrested?
Really, because I was arrested on Tuesday while covering Dr. Kanokiza Besigye, one of the opposition leaders in Uganda who also contested against President Yoweri Museveni in the 2016 presidential elections. But after that, police sieged his home and detained him from his home for close to 10 days. And we were covering the events as they unfolded at his home. But police didn't want journalists to expose what was happening. And they actually barred us from covering what was happening. So we insisted and we were reporting live. Police told us to go away and we didn't. We actually stayed around because there was even visitors, even human rights defenders were not allowed to access him. So these were the events we were covering, and after that police told us to go away, and later on, like you've been watching those images, they surrounded me and arrested me while I was reporting live on television.
Now, what happened to you and your fellow co-worker is not unusual. Do you know how many journalists have been arrested so far in this election period?
Yeah, recently there were some pigs which were actually taken to State House, and the journalists who were covering those events were arrested. My cameraman, who I was working with while covering the siege, the police siege at the home of Besigye, was also beaten. And when they arrested us, they took us to Kasangati police station, and there we were detained for hours. But before going to Kasangati, we were first detained for some minutes in a tinted black police van, and in there they tortured us, they beat us, and police officers, there were huge police officers who were warning us to stop covering the opposition. So that is basically what has been happening. And since the elections were concluded in Uganda, at least a very good number of journalists have been arrested, but after they are released without any charges.
Bahati Remmy, has there been any response from the government to these arrests?
Yeah, after actually when they arrested me and later on released me, police officer issued a false statement that I and my fellow other journalists who were also affected during the scuffle, that we disobeyed lawful orders, and this was not correct. But that is what the police, in a statement that was issued by the police, they actually said we disobeyed lawful orders, that they had told us to park in a gazetted parking lot, and we denied. And they also accused, they actually say we should stop covering Besigye because whenever we are broadcasting live or even relaying images on television, we are trying to incite violence among Ugandans to go and camp at the home of Besigye.
Okay, Bahati Remmy, thank you.